Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Northwest Wrestling Alliance. Matt Legit alongside Cedric Nash as per usual.
What's up?
And things have changed dramatically here in the Northwest Wrestling Alliance since the Western Territory title tournament we've witnessed over the last few weeks. Every single person that competed in that tournament practically has been caught up in the Rapture, and they are gone from NWWA. You're not going to see Buddy Highway. You're not going to see Tex Thompson. You're not going to see Bad Blood. You're not going to see Damon Scythe, Emperor Void, Tommy Celsius, Chuck Payne, Pat Large. They're gone. They're all gone. Taken out by that piece of trash you just saw and his group of lackeys here from Team Washington.
Well, you know what? That means that we won't see DeMarcus James either, right?
No DeMarcus James.
That's what I love. I love that a whole lot. I'm glad Havoc did what he did. I know you're not too happy about it, but you know what? Havoc did what he had to do. He's leading the troops once again. Hey, back in 08, the Illuminati ruling the world. And now Havoc is forming this new army from Washington to get the job done. And I love every single bit of this.
All these men, including the two Jadruls you see there in the middle that you might not be familiar with, are from Washington. There you see Flex Walker, piece of trash.
Every male in Oregon. There will only be lesbian relationships in Oregon now because there are no more men. I think JoJo was quite the reflection of that.
Oh, big fat turd Roy Love Boy.
It's Roy Lovejoy.
Love Boy.
What you see standing here is the most dominating force in the Pacific Northwest.
And the most disgusting. And we'll get into why they have all the titles here in just a minute.
You see what we did to them? Territory title. You know, I'm no Picasso, but I think it looks pretty good.
JD Mason, your NWWA Northwest Territory Diamond Tuck champion, apparently.
All you guys in Oregon, a W stands for Washington. Which also stands for winners.
There you see Haas Toll and Cameron Large, the self-proclaimed crown jewel of the Pacific Northwest.
He didn't even work up a sweat against two of your so-called wrestlers.
Man, you're not giving him no credit at all.
Why so quiet, Oregon? I can't understand how you guys can be so quiet right now. You know what? For me, taking the match with Hanson, I wanted to do my own segment, and we're going to do that right now, and it's called the Washington History Moment.
Fun.
The state of Washington is the only state to be named after a United States president.
You'll have to forgive Cameron Large, he's still learning how to talk like a man.
You see that? That's what wrestling's all about, pride.
A big out-of-shape guy who hasn't gone through puberty yet. I said it.
He's a champion, Matt. He's a champion.
He's a champion because his friend's the booker.
He's a champion, Matt.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks here while these jerk-offs talk, Cedric. The truth is that Dave Hollenbeck was put into the booking position by NWWA promoter Dan Closser. And what did Dave Hollenbeck do the minute he had the book in the Northwest Wrestling Alliance? He put the straps on his friends. He looked out for his boys. And now half of the locker room is gone to DOA, to WCWC, to BCW. Because Dave Hollenbeck told them, you wrestle here and here alone. You are not allowed to ply your trade anywhere else. And that's disgusting, Cedric.
Number 8, the northwesternmost point in the continental United States.
And now we only have 4 people representing the prestigious state of Oregon, the home, the birthplace of Portland professional wrestling. We've got the Schaefers, who you just saw out here a minute ago, Nick Schaefer, Kelly Schaefer, coming in to tag team. We've got Marion Meat Gein, who refused to go with his friends from Washington, despite the fact that he lives in Washington. He knew that all the boys in the back were his friends, and he didn't want to turn on them. And we've got Heartthrob Erik Hanson.
Absolutely, Heartthrob Erik Hanson. But before we touch on Heartthrob Erik Hanson, let's talk about Marion Gein. Meat busted to the bone last week.
Left in a pool of his own blood. And by pool, I literally mean pool. You have to go to youtube.com/legitprowrestling and see what happened to Meat last time we were here at the Northwest Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe it. It's incredible.
Last thing I want to say is that a Seahawk will kick a Duck's ass any day.
And he got his head busted open by this man right here. Havoc.
Dave Hollenbeck is the man who left Marion Gein in a pool of blood. And it was quite honestly, it was disgusting. It's the most despicable, most violent thing I've seen in professional wrestling here in the Pacific Northwest. But it sounds like the action is about to pick up here tonight at the Milwaukee Elks Lodge and the NWWA.
You talk about the NWWA, guys. You talk about when the company started back in 2008. You're talking about one man that's here through it all.
There is one man that has led the charge through the highs and the lows of the Northwest Wrestling Alliance. It's that man, a franchise player, Erik Hanson.
You better believe it, Jack. And I tell you something, he went through a lot. He had a lot of growing pains coming in NWWA. He stuck around, became the world champion, but it was not easy. It was not easy at all. It wasn't. Heartthrob Erik Hanson is the franchise to me of NWWA.
And if it wasn't for Marion Gein being there at his side, Hanson would be standing here alone. I mean, he might have his manager, Mark McRib, there with him, or whatever this kid's name is.
And you know what? It's just...
After the atrocity that happened in the last show, and Dave, you decided to show everyone how you orchestrated everything to the advantage of the Washingtons.
It's true. He's got the book. He can do what he wants, right?
Ever since that night, all the way up until bright and early this morning, I've been calling your ass out. Not just do a little bit of a wrestling match.
It's also true if you don't follow Erik Hanson on Facebook.
I want to kick your ass.
That's cut and dry. There's no debate about it. He's telling you exactly what he wants to do.
Putting a foot in his ass.
And Meat here ain't too happy about the way that he was treated since he is technically from Washington.
Who can blame him?
You guys go in there and as a public display of stupidity, you bust him open with a flag and expect that he's just going to let it go?
I think I used to boot. I think I used to boot. I think there was a boot.
I mean, you've heard of guys getting a crimson mask before. Last week, Marion Gein had a crimson bodysuit.
Go into the back, and I want you to answer my challenge whether you're going to face me tonight or not. End of story.
That's true. Hanson's been calling him out all week on Facebook.
Let me have him. Let me have him. Let me have him. Seriously? Let me have him. Come on. Get back, get back, get back.
You don't want none of that, Hanson. You don't want none of that, son.
Right, Hightower, you want nothing.
You don't want none of that.
I'm a champ. Yeah.
Okay.
You're a
Hanson.
champ. Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? What's up?
That's funny. That is funny.
Okay, you get your match. Fruitcake. But first, before you get your match, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to go through a gauntlet to get to me.
What does he mean?
Gauntlet?
Is that what I think?
You know, your first opponent should be somebody. Let me pick one of you guys to start out. Who's going to start? You want to start?
He's going to make Hanson go through the gauntlet? Look at the balls on Erik Hanson climbing into the ring with a dozen guys surrounding him who hate his guts.
The guy that you're going to face, his name is Jason Brody.
Who the hell is Jason Brody?
You guys know who Jason Brody is? Jason Brody happens to be a good friend of mine. We broke into this business together, Hanson. I'm going to let Jason Brody. Jason Brody, will you come out?
I don't know who the hell Jason Brody is. One of Havoc's friends.